Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos. As we come on air, we are following breaking news. Minneapolis police asking for the public's help right now as they investigate multiple shootings hours and blocks apart on the city's south side. 4 people are confirmed dead, including a 17-year-old. Police say the first shooting happened around midnight near the intersection of 25th Street East and Bloomington Avenue. The second happened just blocks away at 17th Street in Cedar. About 3 hours ago, that's when that second shooting was. Police believe now that these shootings may be related. Our Joe McCoy leads off our team coverage with the latest tonight. Joe.
Rena, a total of 6 people were shot in these 2 separate instances, happening just 13 hours apart from each other and only 3 blocks away from each other. Now, the Minneapolis Police Department says 4 of those 6 individuals have died and that the 2 others are in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police Chief Brian O'Hara, he says he believes all of the victims are part of the Native American community. Let's get into that first shooting that happened overnight. It happened around midnight at 25th Street East and Bloomington Avenue in Minneapolis's Midtown Phillips neighborhood. Police say a 20-year-old woman, a 17-year-old male, and a 27-year-old male died from this shooting. 2 other individuals were shot and remain in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Chief O'Hara says this shooting is likely gang-related, and MPD is working through leads and through the evidence to find those involved.
Violent incidents of this magnitude leave a deep impact, not only on the American Indian community, but on our officers, our investigators, and our community as a whole. Indeed, there are many questions.
Roughly 13 hours later and only 3 blocks away, police say a man in his 30s was shot and killed outside an apartment building on Cedar Avenue, also in the Midtown Phillips neighborhood. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says because of the close proximity of the shootings, they suspect they may be related. The chief also says that a bullet passed through an SUV and nearly missed an infant and a toddler who were inside that car.
Something the community has been saying that we know all too well, that oftentimes conflicts are being resolved in this manner, and it's completely foolish, and we cannot allow it to stand.
Police Chief Brian O'Hara says there will be an increased police presence in the area, and the police department has been proud of how they say gun violence has dropped in Minneapolis over these past 5 months. Chief O'Hara says these shootings show just how fragile that progress can be. And Jessica, you've been talking with community members throughout the afternoon. What have they been saying to these shootings?
You know, Joe, it's been a really heavy day for these community members. They woke up saddened and shocked by the news of last night and now what's happening today. You know, we were at the scene last night. I want to take you back to show you what this scene looked like. Take a look at this video. You can see that there are squad cars everywhere, and at a few moments our crews on the scene last night caught glimpses of people just embracing each other, and you can see the sadness in their eyes over the shooting that had happened last night. And we caught up with a neighbor this morning, and you know, he said that this is just really happening after a period where his neighborhood was relatively quiet and calm, which makes this even more shocking. He thought things were getting better, and now he feels like things are going back to the way it was. Now, neighbors say that, you know, they've heard gunshots in this neighborhood before. They wouldn't say it's common, but it's not out of the ordinary. But one man, Kenneth Martin, says he loves to walk in his neighborhood. He loves to bike. He grew up there. He lives a couple blocks away from the shooting, and he feels like now he has to look over his shoulder, constantly wondering if he's going to be next. Take a listen to what he had to say when we asked him about how his neighborhood has changed.
God, it ain't nothing like it was years ago. You know, be able to walk around at night and hear a gunshot, or probably 1 gunshot in a couple months or whatever, you know, but now it's like 30 gunshots in a week or something.
You know, Rena, I asked him what he would like to see change in his neighborhood, and his answer was very simple. Cops. He wants to see more patrolmen out into his neighborhood, making sure the community is safe. Rena?
Absolutely. And Joe and Jessica, you talk about the police presence, and Joe, you mentioned there would be a bigger police presence, and Mayor Jacob Frey was there today also talking to the media, saying that he is going to push for every resource available to help bring these people in and get these suspects arrested. Important to point out that no one is under arrest right now, correct?
That is correct, Rena. The mayor and Chief Brian O'Hara also mentioned that they're talking with leaders in the Native American community to try to solve these issues. They were saying how community members feel like that these are issues that are not being resolved, so they need to work more to, of course, these shootings a drastic example of that, of some of the crime that can take place in these neighborhoods.
Yeah, and the chief even mentioned that they were supposed to be meeting with those Native American leaders at the moment that this shooting happened. They were supposed to be having a meeting, but instead they were talking to us about the latest shooting that happened outside here. Raina?
Thank you, guys, and of course important for anybody who knows anything to come forward to help solve the situation. Thank you, too. Appreciate it.